All right, class. Today we've got conjunctions and prepositions. First, conjunctions are words that connect parts of the sentence to each other. There are three types that we're going to need to know. These three are coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and conjunctive adverbs. Now, starting with coordinating conjunctions, these are your fanboys. These you should already know as for and nor but or yet so. These connect equal parts to each other. So I ate celery and broccoli today. I ate food and ran to the gym. It's two equal parts. Next, we have subordinating conjunctions, and these uh, they they connect two clauses, which are complete thoughts, and they make one independent clause into a dependent clause. For example, I'll have to go to the store since Bryson ate all my chips. You have the two clauses. I will have to go to the store, and since Bryson ate all my chips, but without the subordinating conjunction since, it would be two independent clauses. Now, the acronym for these is SWABI. That stands for since, when, after, because, and if. And lastly, we have the conjunctive adverbs, and they connect two independent clauses with one of these adverb words. Our acronym for that is FAMO. That's therefore, however, also, meanwhile, and otherwise. So this would be something like, I argued with my parents all night, therefore I did not get any rest. Now in this sentence here, Isaac rode his bike today, but he is stranded until it stops raining. However, I believe he will be home on time since Rob picked him up in his truck. We have a few conjunctions. First, we have the coordinating conjunction so, connecting the thoughts Isaac rode his bike today and he is stranded until it stops raining. Then we have this conjunctive adverb, however, which you may recognize from the last lesson, as it was in there with that semicolon, connecting the complete sentence before it and after it. I believe he will be home on time since Rob picked him up with his truck. Then lastly, we have a subordinating conjunction, since, which divides these two clauses and makes this one, Rob picked him up in his truck, dependent on the other one. If you didn't have the first half of this thought, since Rob picked him up in his truck, is just lacking. It is an incomplete sentence. And that's what subordinating conjunctions do. Next, we have prepositions. Prepositions are kind of weird. They're words that introduce a phrase acting as an adjective or adverb. And prepositional phrases will answer how, when, where, to what extent, which one, and what kind. Which, those are the questions for adjectives and adverbs, which they are, but the difference is prepositional answers to these questions are more than one word. So, if we look at this sentence, the red bag over there is mine. We have an adjective and an adjectival prepositional phrase. Now, if we take out the red and the blue, the bag is mine still works. But which bag is answered by red and over there. Since this is a one word answer, it's an adjective. Since this one is answered in more than one word, it's a prepositional phrase. The preposition is always going to be the first word of a prepositional phrase. This is the end of the notes portion, and we're going to look at a couple sentences. Now, both these sentences have adverbs and prepositions in them. We're going to look at this one first. Aaron and his friend from church did many good deeds, but they still felt they could not get into heaven. But it's one of our fanboys, so that's going to be a coordinating conjunction. It's connecting the clause Aaron and his friend from church did many good deeds to they still felt they could not get into heaven. There's another coordinating conjunction here, and, which is connecting equal parts Aaron and friend. And whose friend? His friend. That's an adjective. And then which friend? His friend from church. Ooh, that's a terrible line. I'm gonna get rid of that. From church is a prepositional phrase which is always started by the preposition. Answers the same question. And over here, felt they could not get in. Could not get where? Into heaven is a prepositional phrase. It answers one of those adverb questions, but it answers it with more than one word, making it a prep phrase. Next, because Mark was driving at the time, he took the blame for the incident. Well, this first bit, let's go purple, cannot stand alone as a sentence because of this word because. If you were to take because out, Mark was driving at the time, that's a standalone sentence. But this word because, this subordinating conjunction, makes this into a dependent clause. And so it must be connected to this independent clause. He took the blame for the incident. I hope you heard that thunder. It was really loud. Next, he was driving. When was he driving? At the time. At the time. That's an adverb question answered by more than one word, making it a prepositional phrase. And at will be our preposition. And he took the blame for the incident. Which blame did he take? Blame for the incident. That's an adjective question that's answered in more than one word, so it makes it a prep phrase, and the preposition is the word for.